How you doing, everybody? Welcome to ESig TV. Tuesday night, October 8th. Only a couple more weeks till VaporCon, boys and girls. I hope everybody's ready. I'm here with Dino, the master of disaster. Say hello, brother.
What's up, guys?
Thanks, everybody, for checking in. I have no producer tonight, so I apologize in advance for being the lame bastard that I am. I'm trying to do all things at once. If chat get behinds, don't worry. Don't worry, we're still here. If anybody's having any problem hearing us, try and let us know. We'll be trying to keep an eye on the chat. The camera, if we cut out, throw a brick at us or something, let us know right away. So yeah, big week, man. I've been super duper busy the past couple weeks. You know, I got a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot of irons in the fire. I came out with that new stupid cartomizer. I shouldn't say stupid. It's a pretty good cartomizer. I've been waiting for it for my whole life. It seems like 135 years it took me to get them in. But I finally got them in the ASpire BDC line, and it's made my life a living hell. Plus, I got no, just the orders are crazy, you know.
Oh,
hey guys, listen, the orders were crazy. I had the million questions. I had guys torturing me on what you call it, Reddit. You know, telling me, Phil Basardo did a video. He did a video with the big one. He did a video with 3 of them, but the big one, he showed a picture of it in a box with 2 replacement heads. So these guys were on there saying, "Oh, Drew's tearing them apart, taking the replacement heads out and selling them separate." I have never ordered VV Novas in a box with the replacement heads because it's number one, you got to charge you end up charging like $8 more because you got to pay for. It's not a deal to get 2 extra heads in that box, and it's like doubles the space that it takes to ship them. So when you're shipping from China, that's the difference between paying $300 and $600 for shipping. So, you got to tack that onto the price. So I always order them singles. I get 2 singles in the box. So, these guys were saying, "Oh, it's a ripoff." I was really expecting. And listen, between you and me, I never talked to Phil before he did that video. Like, I talked to him a while ago, but when the company got a hold of me, and that's the company that I work with, they asked me who to send them to. And I said, listen, they had like a couple reviewers on the list. I said, if I was you, I'd save my money and just send them to Phil. Phil was on the list. I said, just send them to him. He'll do a decent review on them. It might be a little longer, but at least, it's not going to be a guy that's going to go up there and open them up and fill them backwards, and which happens all the time, whether you know it or not. We're reviewers. They give out a lot of misinformation. You spend the rest of the month answering emails, correcting people. So I don't even have you on the screen yet. I'm doing a great job here. I thought I had you up, but I don't. So just say hello again to Dino. I've been sitting here the whole time with my big head on there. But at any rate, it was a pain in the ass. That I'm working on a new RBA that's I'm running back and forth to the shop here. That's not that big a deal. It's just stressful, waiting. You know what I mean. I know you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean.
It's just like aggravation. It's like, I'm laying in bed at night at 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm falling asleep, and all of a sudden I'm wide awake, and I'm thinking about a fucking jam nut or a thumb screw, or whether it's going to fit or whether it's not going to fit. It's like having a splinter. It's one of them rashes. I remember when I was in tech school, the teacher there, he told me, "Gleam," he said, "you're like a rash right in the crack of your ass, right in the crack of my ass." He said, "You never itch until I'm in line in front of 20 people and I can't scratch it." he said, it's like a rash right there. It only bothers you when people are watching. And he's talking about me, but that's what it is. It's like one of those things that, there's nothing you can really do about it. It's not like you're physically working on it or lifting heavy, but it's just like a constant work on your mind, on the dome. But other than that, I got a good dripper and fell in love. That could be a song, little boy. We're going to make a song out. Oh, look, Laurel's here. I ain't seen her in a while. Hey, Laurel. Always nice to see you. I guess you and your hubby either got home early from night out or you got canceled. She does her night out with the husband on Tuesday nights. So what do you got for us, pal? Now, I was listening to that rant you did on Kevin's show the other night, and it got me thinking about these K-funds, which I now have 3 of, thanks to you. And one of them, I got to tell you, there's this one juice that I like. I get it from a buddy of mine. He makes it. And it's one of these cinnamon juices. It's like a mild cinnamon. But when you first get it, it's delicious. And then like 30 days later, it changes. So I've been filling this, my mini up with it. And I got to tell you, dude, whatever you did to it, it's perfect. Mm-hmm. Like when I first got them, I took them apart and opened them up, and then I sent them to you. I didn't even touch them. I sent them to you. You set them up for me. You sent them back. I like partially assembled them again, but to be honest with you, I don't know. I want to change this liquid out, and I don't know how to do it.
Well, I'll show you right now if you like.
Yeah. So I'm going to assume that I'm having some of them made too. The guy from J-Raps is making some of them for me. Yeah, out of plastic.
Yeah, he was telling me. That's good. That's a good idea. People will use them. They come in very handy. And
dude, they're cheap enough. I think I forget what he said, like $5 or $6. I don't even know if I'm going to sell them. I think I'm just going to give them out for right now with my RBA. I'm going to make it part of the
package.
Yeah, part of the package. When you get the RBA, you'll get a stand that you can rebuild them on. And then, he said he can make nicer ones and all that, and send me a design and this, that, and the other thing. I think I'm just going to, what I was thinking? You know them little blocks that you carry around?
Yeah.
He's making some of them for me, right?
These.
Yeah. He's going to make me a couple of them. I was thinking about putting a thing right in the center of that, right? Or on the bottom. Like, say you pressed a 510 fitting on the bottom of there, right?
Or so you could, like, turn it over and use it.
Exactly. You could screw your RBA on there and have, like, a little vice stand, holds it up a little bit, like closer to our old eyes.
Right.
And,
that's actually not a bad idea.
Because all they do is they drill a hole a little bit smaller. You get a couple, 510 connectors and press them right in there. Press fit them in.
I use this thing. This is I take this to if I go to a meet, and I'll just stick it on a table, so I don't have to worry about people knocking over my shit.
Well, dude, do you have a 510 connector around?
Around? Yeah, I don't know. I gotta look. Why?
I'm saying you drill a little. You measure it. Drill a hole.
I don't need to. I got this.
Yeah, but listen, you would have it on the road with you.
Yeah, that's great, because that's what I want to do when I go to a meet. I want to start building coils.
You do. Everybody walks up to you and say, "Hey, Dino, look at this. What I got to do with this? What I got to do with that?" All right,
I miss the producer.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's great having her here.
Yeah.
I listen. The last couple times she went to the meets with me. And dude, meets are a pain in the ass for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like it. But, if it's a meet with a show, it's a pain in the ass as a vendor. You gotta have your shit together.
Is she coming to Virginia with you?
No, she can't go because she's got this. That's where she's at tonight, the rec commission for the town. She runs it, the recreation commission. She's the recreation commissioner for the town.
Very nice.
So they're setting up like a haunted trail for Halloween, and it falls right on Halloween. So she's got to do all that setting up and all that. So she gets a kick out of that shit anyway. So good for her. But when she comes with me, it makes it makes it super easy. It's a difference in night and day. Like, when I got to drag shit out.
Tell me, I bring Effie with me.
Yeah,
Effie helps me out a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely good. And she's got she makes up nice little signs. I get a piece of duct tape and write $2.90 on there and slap it on the front of it. She's got like a little sign with
you got
a
to
picture
do like me. I
on
sell
it.
one product.
Yeah, I wish it was so easy, pal. Listen, I look at some of these companies now, like blowing them, and I think, back in the day when I was starting out, 5 years ago, when I was starting out, I saw them companies and I said, I'm going to be so much. They spent all their money on marketing, and I spent all my money on developing. I came out with the LR atomizer, and they collected $135 million. So who had it right? You know what I mean? I think they got it right. Angie fucks rocks. Yes, she does. But, yeah, so who knows, pal? I'm looking forward to VaporCon, though. I really am.
So am I.
I haven't, listen, let them say what they want. They say it's not as ritzy as the other ones and it's not as nice or whatever. Through the year, I have to pick now. It's getting to a point where they're having one of these things like every month. So through the year, I have to pick. Like, I can't, I don't have the time or the money or the energy or any of that to be running all over the country.
I only do Chicago, Virginia, and that's it.
Well, I think listen, Chicago, I think I'm going to try to do that every other year or something like that, because Chicago's a big
good.
meet.
I like it there.
Yeah, it's cool, and the people there are cool, and it's a big meet. But like Florida for me is a must-do. It's like that's like a mini vacation for me. And my
if they had it in the winter, I'd do it.
Yeah,
I can't take the heat. Can't take the heat. And when you come to Virginia, bring an extra fan.
Yeah.
You driving down?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, bring me a fan.
What are you flying in?
Yeah, I got to fly in.
Dude,
I'm taking the train. Taking the train.
I got these little Ryobi fans that take the 18. I got the whole Ryobi line. I got it from my wife. It's got a little blower. It's got a little weed whacker, a little chainsaw. My wife, now I got a big steel blower and all that shit and chainsaw, but I gave the little battery ones to her. It's got a fan, a screw gun, an impact gun, a couple lights, a little blower. She can blow the leaves away from the doorway on the porch and shit. It's a pretty nice little thing, but it's got nice little fans that are pretty good. So yeah, I'll bring an extra. Dan Patrick has the 40 volt Ryobi weed eater. Oh, you're showing off now. I got the littler one. It's for my wife. She does.
The littler one?
The little Ryobi.
The littler one.
The littler one. It's a Jersey thing. All right, so go ahead, start rapping. We'll talk about weed whackers.
Well, you want to see how to change the wick in the K-Fund first.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the mini. Hang on, let me just.
Why
switch
yours
my
got a
camera
big
here.
washer around it? That's because you got it jammed into that little thing, huh?
Yeah, don't pay no attention to that.
Right.
And are you gonna produce?
Yeah, I'm producing. You're up.
All right, then put the friggin' hand camera up so they could see it.
The hand camera's up.
You got to put it big.
Oh, okay. All right, hold on. I'm the director. I'm not the producer.
All right, while you're doing that, I'm going to start. Anyway.
All right, go ahead. You're up.
All right, K-Fund.
Woohoo, that's fancy. I'm good at this. Whoa,
you got it? You did it?
Oh, look at that.
Very good.
God.
All right. So you know how to take the K-Fund apart? Very simple. Pull the top cap off.
It's not very simple. Oh, you're calling me very simple.
Pull the top sleeve off. Pull the bottom tube off.
Now, what do you do if it's full of juice right there? Can you do that?
Empty it. I emptied it before I started.
What am I going to do? How do you empty it?
You're going to do this. You turn it up, you hold it upside down under, over a cup or something. Crack the top cap and all the juice should pour right out.
Okay.
All right. So now we're going to pull the top chimney off.
Ooh, chimney.
All right. That's the chimney. This is the chimney sleeve. All right, and here is what should be a pretty gunk. This actually looks pretty damn good.
That does look good.
It really does look good, but it should typically it would be look a lot shittier. All right. So if you built it the way I built it, using the 26 gauge, odds are you can still reuse the coil. So what I will do is I will take a scissor and I will snip one side of the wick right off. All right. Now you should be able to pull nice and easy, pull the rest of the wick out. So now what you're left with is
so let's do a hypothetical situation here. Say I got my little mini there, and I don't have any more cotton because somebody didn't send me some. And I just don't want to pull that out. I could probably just squeeze that off or rinse it off and dry it.
I can't answer you. I don't know that I would do that. I don't know I don't know. I never tried it, because what I want to do now is I want to dry burn this coil.
Right.
To clean the coil.
Right.
So let me just pop this off. Put this on any. Now you got the wick out. The coil should look a lot worse than this. This one's actually looking pretty good. And then you could do is rinse it under some water, and then just dry burn it a few times.
Dude,
just to clean it.
Purple. That's like super hot. How many ohm is that?
This is 0.68.
Wow.
So after you dry burn it a couple of times, I mean, it's clean. So now it's a matter of just putting new wick in it. And I'll show you how to do that.
Now that cotton you're using, say it again. It's
This is organic cotton balls. All right. And I'm going to take my cotton and I'm going to unroll it. Now I'm very wasteful. So I'm going to be wasteful right now. What I do is I cut the top edge to get a nice square cut there. I cut the bottom edge. All right. Now I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to cut a strip out of this.
Now these guys in the chat are saying I can get that at Walgreens.
Well, if they can get it at Walgreens, they can get it at Walgreens. I buy mine on eBay. Now, I want my strip to be, I'm going to say about 1/4 to 3/8 wide. And that's going to be the piece I use right here. All right. So now what I do is I take one end and I wet my fingers and I make it pointy. Like so. Now we take it, run it into the coil. Let me zoom in on that a little bit. Hang on one second. Let's see here, zoom. Okay. And then what I'll do is I'm going to pull this is the flat side. I'm holding this kind of snug and I'm pulling it through.
Wow, you are wasteful. You're making like
now when I get it about halfway through, you pull, you might find a little excess that kind of you could just kind of peel, pull it nice and easy. All that loose stuff will come off. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do the same thing we did when we built it the first time. Take the scissors, lay to one side flat, rest your scissor on the ridge of the K-front. Give it a little snip.
Do you boil your cotton?
I don't, no. Not this, I don't.
Yeah, Laurel's asking in the thing, but Laurel's got OCD.
And then you do the other side. And then you want to make sure that those the edge of that wick is even with the deck. Then all you do is take your top sleeve. See, I got a little bit hanging out right there.
Uh-huh.
So what I'll do is I'll pull this off and I'll just trim a little bit off that edge. So when I slide this on, see, now you don't see the wick hanging out?
Yep.
And just screw on the sleeve. Now what I'll do is I'll take let's see here. I got a little something pointy like a toothpick or something, and I kind of just tuck that. Let's see if you can see it. Kind of just tuck the wick down. Make sure it's hitting the bottom. Just clean it up a little bit. And then all you do is prime it, reassemble it, and that's it. Put the top cap on. You know, you want to drop enough juice in there so that it's kind of primed. Put the top cap, the chimney top on. Make sure everything is tight. Take your sleeve. Put that on. Your top sleeve. And your top cap. And that is it. Simple as pie.
That was pretty simple. When you do it, it's always simple. When
well,
I
listen,
do it,
you know,
I'm
once you get a good coil in there, and again, I'm using 26 gauge wire, so the 26 gauge is pretty stiff stuff. So it will, you know, it's going to last you a lot longer.
Right.
So changing out the wick is a piece of cake. You know, it's just making sure that you get your wick, your coil built right the first time. If you spend the extra time making that wick correctly, there's no reason why it shouldn't last you a really long time.
Right.
I mean, I got wicks that I've been using for literally months.
Well, this is what I did, and I told you this already, but I have the K-Fun big one.
The 3.1.
Yeah. And I put it on a Nemesis and put it in my new handy dandy J stand.
Hold on, director. You want to go back? Oh, you got it. You were still on here. Good. You put it on your J stand, and what?
I stood it up, and I killed a battery. And I'm pretty sure I haven't opened that up yet. Remember, I told you earlier it was leaking.
Right.
Well, somehow the airflow screw was like backed all the way out. So I tightened that up.
You know what probably happened? Because it fired for so long, more than likely you melted the insulators.
Yeah.
So I would say that's probably why you're getting leaking now. So I could probably just change out the insulators, redo another coil, and then that'll be the end of it.
Well,
you won't have any more trouble.
This is what I did. I tightened up that air hole, the airflow, and it stopped leaking.
Yeah, but then you can't get no draw on it.
Well, I tightened it up. It was all the way out, I think. Like right now,
that would not make it leak.
Well, listen, when I blew in the thing, shit came out.
Maybe it was flooded. I mean, is it still? So you're telling me it's working fine now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But it shouldn't. I mean, if you have an issue with leaking, odds are that the chamber is flooded. It could be the insulators are damaged. I mean, it's a million things.
When
but
you're
it's
saying
not
the insulators, it's the O-rings.
Not the O-rings, the insulators. If the insulators are damaged in there, you could get leaking down into the. It could be the O-rings too. I don't know. Again, unless I see it, I couldn't really tell you exactly what it is. So, anyway, you want me to build you want to see a new build?
I do. I always like new builds. What's not to like about new builds?
This is going to be a new build. A buddy of mine showed me this, and this is actually the first time that I'm going to try it. So cross your fingers. Hopefully it'll work out just good, fine. Now I'm going to take apart a perfectly good microcoil here. Where's my pliers? Let's see what we got. Damn it. I need my glasses. This is so easy. Anybody could build this. I mean, really. It's one of those builds that is just super, super easy. Just let me get my tool out here. All right, this Addy is called the Senesis Dripper. Some guy in Poland makes this thing. It's actually a pretty good dripper. So let me pull out this 26 gauge microcoil. I can't use this on the stand either because it's got a hybrid bottom. So this one I have to build freehand. So now I got a bit. This bit is probably, I'm going to say about 2 millimeter. It's smaller than what I typically use. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay. So now this is 28 gauge wire, and I already torched this, so it's already annealed. And what I am going to do is I'm going to wrap, just like I would a microcoil, on a bit. Except I want to do a bunch more wraps on this. That's 2, that's 3, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to do 12 wraps on this. Now, I'm taking a guess here. I don't know what this is going to meter out to. But now here, we're going to pull this tight on the drill bit, the 2 tag ends. Then I'm going to slide the bit off. And then I'm going to grab it with my tweezers. And then I'm going to torch it.
Let me ask you something. The K-Fun light, that has a screw-on drip tip or a pull-off?
It has both. It comes with a screw-on drip tip, and then it also has an adapter that you could put on it that'll take a regular 510.
All right, so how do you tell the difference between the light and the regular one?
The light has no air control. It has no screw-on drip tip. It's got a regular 510 drip tip. And it's shorter.
Oh, okay.
All right. So now this is torched. I'm going to let this go. And if you look, you can see, let me zoom in here. Oh, that's not it. Hold on, I hit the wrong button.
It got clearer.
Let's see here. And you can see damn it. There we go. And you can see how compact this coil is now. Is that coming in clear?
Yeah, that is compact.
All right, now that's 12 wraps of 28 gauge on a 2 millimeter bit. All right.
12 wraps, 28 gauge.
Yeah, so it's a pretty big coil. So now let's zoom back out again. Let's put the autofocus back on. Now I'm going to put this in this Addy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bit. I'm going to slide the bit right through it again. All right. And then I am going to make my connections. which I don't know if you're going to be able to see this too well. I mean, making the connections is a pretty simple procedure.
For you.
All right. So we got the negative on. We're going to tighten that up. All right. Now we're going to take our positive. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pull this out, this coil, so that it's getting close to the edge of the Addy. After I get it installed, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay. Let me just get this thing in place first. Okay. So now, I'm going to zoom in again here. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this coil and I'm going to try to maneuver it so that it's near the edge, so that I can get the air hole right on top of, you know, right near the at the coil.
Right.
And now once this is set in place, then you kind of just unscrew, nice and easy. And that drill bit will slide out. Don't pull it too hard. You want to just go nice and easy so you don't disrupt the coil. Almost there. There we go. Okay. So now you're looking at the coil. Now, what I'll do from here is I'll wiggle off these ends, these tag ends here. If it'll come off, there we go. All right, now I'm going to put it on the mod. Hang on a second. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire it. And I'm going to do the same thing like I do with the other ones. I'm going to fire it. Let it get hot. And then I'm going to squeeze the coil. And you can see that thing is burning like from the inside to the outside. Squeeze it. And that's it. Now the coil's done. All right. So now I'm going to pull the, I'm actually going to just take the battery out of this thing. That was a dead battery, a fairly dead battery. So I don't know what the what's going to meter out to. But here's the nice part about this build. You take your coil, your cotton wick. All right. Cut yourself a nice strip so you got something to work with. Okay. Now we're going to take this. Oh, let me put the autofocus back on. All right. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take, you can do this with a toothpick, or you can do it with a, you know, with a piece, something pointy. And all you're going to do is push that cotton under the coil. You don't have to squeeze it through the center of the coil. You're going to kind of make a bed for the coil to sit on. Are you getting this?
Yeah, yeah.
And try to get it, try to get, you don't want to be, you don't want it packed under there, but you want it so it's, you can get enough juice in there. And then what I'll do is I'll take the rest of it, I'll wrap it around like that. And then all I'll do is cut the excess off the side of the addy.
Now, I got to tell you, I'm wondering here, and that the people in the chat are asking the same thing. This is a single coil build,
It's a single coil. You could do this on a dual coil. You could do this on anything.
but I'm saying that's a lot of wraps for a single coil, isn't it?
No, it's 28 gauge wire. It's on a thin bed, a thin gauge needle or a drill bit. So the resistance of it is probably going to be, and I'm guessing, I'm going to say maybe 1 ohm.
Oh, okay.
All right, but here now, you see what I did here? I just kind of made a little bed of cotton for the coil to sit in. Let's see now if we can focus this. And you see how it looks?
Yeah.
Now what I'll do is I'll take the juice and I'll saturate the hang on. Saturate the cotton. And this is actually going to hold a lot of juice. And then after you get the cotton saturated, take your whatever you were using and just kind of clean up the edges of the bed of cotton. Now that it's wet, it'll be a little bit easier to move it around a little bit. And that's it. That's done. Let's see here. Now you see there's really nothing going through the coil.
Right.
You just got a bed of wicking underneath the coil. Now, take a battery. You want to test it to make sure that it's not glowing red or anything like that. But it should just fire nice and easy. This might be higher than what I want. I'm not really sure. This was a guess. But you can see that the coil is not getting red.
Right.
It's doing the job. So here, let's put the cap on. Let me see here. Let's see how it works. How's that?
That looks pretty good.
I'm telling you, it's amazing. I never thought that would work.
No, and yeah, I got to tell you, like looking at it, I'm skeptical. Is that gonna, how is that liquid or whatever gonna wick over to the?
Listen, I don't try to figure out the science of it. All I know is that it works. When I first saw it, I thought the same thing. I said to myself, well, what's going to happen is the top of the coil is going to get red, and only the part that's touching the coil is going to. But it's not. That's not. It doesn't work like that. I'm telling you, try it because it works really friggin' good. This is actually a little higher. I'll check the resistance on it. I mean, I'm taking long
Yeah,
hits,
yeah.
and it's not getting harsh at all.
Right. Now that's more of a dripper type of. That's a dripper setup. Dude, you're gonna pop. You started turning red.
I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. I don't know why. It just works, and it works really good. And yes, this is something that you would really only use for a dripping addy. I don't think you'd be able to do this in something like a K-Fun or some, like a Genesis addy. Definitely not. Let me check the resistance. It's probably pretty high. Again, this is the first one I've built, so I haven't really experimented very much with it. All I know is that my buddy tried it. He told me to do it. I says, frig it. I saw what he was doing, and it was working great for him too. So it looks. I would like to see what this thing can do at low resistance. Let's see what it meters out to. Let's see. Yeah, it's 1.5. So it's a little higher than what I typically would use. I would go. Actually, I'm actually thinking about going to a even thinner diameter, maybe a 1 millimeter bit, and doing the same 12 wraps and see how it goes from there.
Now, how many or what was that bit that you just used?
The bit I used was a 2 millimeter bit.
2 millimeter. Okay.
So, but it brought the resistance up. So I would go down to probably 1 millimeter and do the same amount of wraps, try to get that down around 0.9 ohms, 1 ohm like that, and see how that works. But I'm telling you, it's great. It does not, the coils do not turn red.
Now, I'm assuming you had another build before this one.
What do you mean another build?
Like this isn't the first one of these that you've built.
No, this is the first time I've ever built this way.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to do it it was last minute.
Yeah.
That I decided to do this because like I said, I was just talking to my buddy, and he showed it to me, and it works. It works great. The way he had it set up, he was getting massive amounts of vapor out of it.
Yeah.
And the nice part about it is it's so easy to build because you don't have to be stringing the wick through the coil and worry about damaging the coil. You can just kind of make that bed underneath it.
Right.
And I'm telling you, it's friggin' great. Probably, I mean, dual coils would probably be great like this. But after the show, I'm probably going to rebuild it again. And I want to try to get it down to I may even try to use a different wire, maybe even a 32 gauge wire. I'm sorry, not a 28 gauge wire, and go through even a thinner, really, really tiny. Maybe even use a syringe or something to wrap it on to get those coils real tight, so I can make a nice long coil.
Right.
I got to play around with it a little bit more. You know what I mean? Maybe the next show I'll show you it finished after I kind of perfect it.
Right.
But I'm sure everybody could play with it in the meantime and see. I mean, it's a cinch to build. I mean, it's really simple. So, and that's that.
Listen, do me a favor.
Shoot.
We're going from the hip here. You got an ASpire BDC there?
I have them. Do you want one that I'm using, or one that
don't matter? Show me how to pull the center pin out of there, because I got a zillion people, and when I did my video.
Oh, what do you mean the center pin out of what?
Out of the bottom. You
mean out of the Ego connector?
Yeah.
From the Ego battery?
No. From the BDC. You know, you got a BDC VV Nova, the big one?
Yeah, hang on a minute. Let me get it. Give me a second.
Please excuse our customer service announcement. As we're sitting here, everybody in the room send me an email to...
All right. Here's the BBC VV Nova.
Hold on a second. I'm typing. Oh, man, I wish the producer was here. He takes care of all this. Send me an email to everybody in the room. I'll send you something delicious. I'll send you one of these things he's showing me right here. So the center pin in the bottom.
Wait, back up a second.
Yeah.
Why is there a rubber gasket in the drip tip?
I don't know. I think you put that in there.
No. All of them have it. There is a rubber. Yeah, I don't know if you could see it.
I could see it just there.
Oh, hold on. There is a rubber gasket in every drip tip. Is that to restrict the draw?
I'm thinking it probably is. It's probably to restrict the airflow to make it...
Okay. I didn't know why it was in there.
You got me thinking here.
But you can see it. Hang on.
I don't think mine have that.
Every single one I have has that.
Well, all the ones I got it. Oh, it does, huh?
You see it now?
Not that good. Hold on now. Let me get my flashlight.
So, I actually had
That's
one.
crazy, dude. I didn't even notice that.
I actually had one that had no hole in it.
Oh, no, dude, I do. I see it in there. I'll bet you that's what it is.
To restrict the draw?
Yeah, well...
You want to tighten the draw up a little bit?
Well, it probably makes it feed a little bit better. Because, dude, you figure these feed on the... when you
Pressure.
take one hit, it feeds the next one. You know,
Right.
I think there's
Well,
been like...
I took them out, and they are working fine without them. So
Oh, shit.
that's just so you know. All right. So now you want to know how to pull the pin on here? Let's see.
Yes.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, but
So in other words, what they're saying is that they're not making contact. Is that what the problem is?
Yes.
Well, all you would do is, I would imagine, and this is just a guess, that if you just grabbed the connector,
that's just pressed on there. You can do that when it's out of there. Either way.
just pull it out just a little bit. I mean, you don't want to pull it out completely.
No. And you can do it from the outside, or you can do it from the inside. It's real easy. It comes out easy.
Right.
But I just
what
want
I
people
did
to be able to
was
see it.
now you can see that the connector. Hang on.
Yeah, so you pulled yours out good. That's perfect.
It's protruded.
Yep.
So, well, now when you put it on the battery, it's going to push it back to where it needs to be.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I haven't had that issue at all with any of these, not making connection with the battery.
Yeah, I've had it. Listen, the first one that came out of the box, I tried on an Opus, and it did it. Now the Opus has a deep connector, but listen, there's as many connectors as there are vapors, I think, these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you want to know something? Like I said, if you take the Addy head out of the tank.
Yep.
All right. And just...
You don't even need pliers. You can do it.
You really don't need... I mean, I'm trying to show them so they could see it.
Yeah.
But if you take this, I'm grabbing it with pliers, and I'm just kind of... Can you see what I'm doing?
Yep. Now, see, that's press fit on there.
Yeah. I mean, if I wanted to, I could pull it right out, but I don't want to do that.
Right.
And then just put it back in the bottom cap, and you'll see that it's protruding enough that when it makes contact with the battery, it'll just, here, watch, you'll see it'll just push right back in.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it'll make contact. So I don't think it's not very hard to do. I mean, if you had to do it from while it's in, you could probably just take a needle or something and just kind of go back and forth with it.
Yep.
To pull it. And even then it'll come out just a little bit. You know, I think it's easier to do it with the head out. So that's it. These things are working really good. I got to tell you the truth.
Yeah, yeah, I like
Not a
them a
drop
lot.
of not a drop of juice leaks. Uh, they really are. They're working fine. My wife, I mean, you know, I haven't been using them as much as I have one of them set up. I was just testing it.
Yeah,
My wife has like 4 or 5 of these set up right now
yeah,
that she's like in a rotation, and they're all working perfectly. She hasn't complained once.
yeah. I like them. I like the airflow on them. I like, you know, I like everything about them. To tell you the truth, you know.
You know, I gotta tell you,
This
they
was
are
actually,
easier to fill than the pro tanks.
yeah,
And the reason that I think they're easy to fill is because you can really see the level when when you fill the pro tanks. There's a point where you can't see the juice level anymore. You got to look in the top.
right,
This you can take from the side and you can see it from the side.
right, right.
And they're easy. They're simple. I mean, you can't get no easier than this. You don't have to take any wicks out, which is nice.
Right.
I mean, the heads are. I mean, look at the heads. They're friggin'. They're simple.
Yeah.
Nothing hanging out. There's no wick hanging out anywhere.
Yeah.
They work.
I'll tell you what, these were actually born when you're gonna laugh at me, but when I went over to China with these, I took a bunch of pieces of ceramic that I bought. I bought them from China and had them shipped to the factory in China. I was trying to design a ceramic cup / wick cartomizer, all ceramic. That's when they were, you know, I don't know if everybody remembers the beginning of the year, they were saying, oh, you know, there's particulates and there's silicone, and everybody was saying, I want ceramic cups and this, that, and the other thing. So I was trying to design a ceramic cup cartomizer that alls it had in there in a bottom coil, and for atomizers and cartomizers, that had a cup that the atomizer wire actually wrapped through the cup. The cup was one piece with the insulator. You know what we're using is cotton and silica and cable rope and wire mesh. I wanted it to be porous ceramic.
Right.
So it turned out, you know, we had a bunch of different designs, and one of them was like that little thing that's screwed in there. Inside of there would have been all ceramic. And it would have been a cup with a bar going across the top, and then you would wind the wire across the top. But we couldn't find any ceramic that was porous enough. So we ended up with these, like 17 versions. You know, the other thing is there's a lot of people asking, they want glass tanks, they want glass this, that, the other things. The preliminary ones that they sent me that were made of glass, they used different coils. And I said, you know what, game over, because if you can't come out with if we can't come out with a line that has the same coils in it, then, you know, it's pissing people off. Like if you have 6 different cartomizers and there's 3 different kinds of coils that you have to buy to replace them, you know, like you're setting the whole line up for failure. So they went back to the drawing board, and they now have, they've had 2 revisions so far that were glass, and I've turned down 2 revisions. So they have the 3rd one that I think is going to be okay. My buddy over in China is actually trying it. Actually tried it and said it worked pretty good, and I told him leave it sitting for a couple of days and see if it if it does.
I mean,
right.
Glass to me doesn't matter. I mean, as long as I'm not using any corrosive juices, so it's no issue for me. But
yeah, personally, I think if your juice is eaten through glass, you probably shouldn't be vaping it. If it's eating plastic, you probably shouldn't be vaping it. But listen, I've never had any issue, and I have a couple liquids that a couple of the fruit liquids that I use, like the one banana that I use, banana laurel. If I mix it with strawberry, for some reason, it has a reaction and it turns into something that'll eat plastic. But I've never had any issues with the plastic on the VV Novas or the CE5s. I've had it on like tanks like the VPX tank that Polly he used to use. It wouldn't bust out. It would just spider crack the tank. So, and then one time I emptied a tank. It was a red tank, and I emptied it for whatever to change the cartomizer. And I noticed the liquid was red, and I said, "That's the end of that. I'm not using it anymore. I'm not vaping. Whatever it is. Plastic dye or plastic or whatever." But other than that, I haven't really had any issues either. But people can be real stickers when they want what they want when they want it. So
yeah.
But I ain't gonna fight this system. I'll get them. I'll have them in a couple weeks, more than likely, and that's that. I'm using some metal ones right now. Look at that pretty motherfucker there.
What, metal sleeves?
Yeah. That's a J-Wrap from Allen.
Put your big camera up. Get my hand camera out so you can see better.
Let me see if I can do this. Where am I? Here I am. That's the a J-Wrap from Allen. That's a Viva Nova BDC. I got some of these J-Wraps, dude. I'll tell you what, I went a little crazy with them, but I like them.
Oh, I got a ton of them. I put one. Look at this. I got one on my Sidewinder.
Yeah, that's the one I have right here.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I didn't change the thing yet. I'm showing you.
Yeah, I got one.
Here you go. Hold on. That's the same
I got one on my my mini stick.
Hold on a second. I'm going to throw you back up there in a minute. You're not on there. But that's the
Yeah, it looks good.
That's the same one you got on there.
Right.
This is an orange one on a red Opus. And then I got a couple other ones. I think I got them plugged in the house or something. Got my two inside ones, but let me put you back up. Where are you at? Okay, there you are. Let me just, I think the sound might go out if I put just two up.
All right, don't worry about it.
But go ahead.
I got this. Oh, here. You got my hand camera on. All right, so I got one J-Wrap on the mini stick, and then I got one on the Sidewinder. And I got to tell you, they look great.
They really do. They
really look great. They're not, a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't want to put wraps on my mods." This is not like, it's not tacky at all. I mean, they really do a great job. And the precision cutting that they do when they make these things, they fit perfect. I mean, look at that Sidewinder. You know what a pain in the ass that is to make that?
Yeah, it really is. I think my audio went super low, they said, but let me go back to that other thing. I got something wrong with my shots. The producer ain't here, and my shots are all screwed up. Can you hear me better now? I'll tell you what, Laurel, the J-Wraps, they look like they'd be a pain in the ass, but listen, I'm a sausage-fingered, fumble-fingered. That's why Dino wraps my coils. Like if I'm not in a good mood, I'll screw shit up. Like I'll mess stuff up. I got to be like in a zen kind of mood. If I'm like a little pissed off about something, I can't do nothing intricate. I get aggravated and I start breaking stuff, like deliberately, like start throwing stuff. But they're
not hard to do.
The wraps go on really easy. Yeah. I was surprised.
They're not wraps that also like, they're not like an inspection sticker that if you don't put it on the first time right, you take it off, it gets destroyed. That's not how these are.
Exactly.
If you want to, if you wanted to peel it back to fix it as you're going, it's pretty simple to do.
Well, and that's what I did. I'll tell you what, the first one I did took me about 5 minutes, and I did like 3 or 4 of them. So the first one I did, I took about 5 minutes. I was going back and forth, and by the second and third one, I was doing them in a minute, like that, like fast. But like he said, you can peel it off and make sure it's lined up. Take a look at it, and then rub it on real good. And I haven't had a single. When I was putting it on, I was thinking this thing ain't going to stick right. These corners are going to peel up, and it's going to look like, You know, it's going to look like a half-assed bumper sticker in a week or so.
That's not the way they look at all.
And they don't. I don't know
look
how
at the
he does
bottom.
it. I guess it's the material he uses or whatever. But once you rub them on there real good, they don't come off. You know, they don't roll up or nothing. So.
But they're all cut perfectly. I mean, look at the bottom of the micro stick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's cut perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. I'm actually going to get some off him. I'm not getting. He's got them like, you could wrap your eyeglasses with him. The guy, he makes them so many different ones. He's got them for, you know.
He wraps trucks.
Yeah.
He does cars and trailers. I mean, you got to see some of the stuff he's done.
Yeah.
And I swear, if you got a device, look on his site. If he doesn't have it, send him the device. He'll make it.
Yeah, he's good like that. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
He's a really good guy.
I met him down in Florida face to face, and I realized I'd known him. You know, he's been around since we used to hang out in New Vapor in the chat room. And I knew him from all the way back then and didn't realize it was him all that time. I got like a couple emails from him, and I didn't realize that was the same guy. But at any rate, we're out of time. I want to thank you, Mr. Master Disaster, for coming out tonight and giving us all a lesson on whatever the hell it is you did. And thank everybody for stopping in. Have a great week. I hope to see you all at VaporCon in Virginia. Laurel, are you going to VaporCon? Who's going to VaporCon? Say yes or no on the thing. RBA should be this week. It's coming up. Either this week, not this week, definitely, but maybe next week. But I'll definitely have some at VaporCon, and they'll be on the site. You guys should really try to get to VaporCon. You're going to miss a big shoe. Me and the Master Disaster are going to be there. There's going to be a lot of people there. It's going to be a lot of fun. It always is.
Yeah, I hear that me, you, and Cisco are all next to each other with tables.
Well, you know, last time I was talking to Cisco, he told me he canceled his table. So maybe
he's going. He's going.
Yeah.
He was kidding with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That little prick. All right, everybody, man. Have a great night. Again, thanks for coming in. Have a wonderful vaping week. Signing out. Sayonara halabinga.